Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday. Where are we at here? There we go. Thursday, November the 13th, 2025. It's another technicalalpha podcast. Glad you could join us today, whether you're here live or if you're listening to us on the way to work, at work, and of course, most efficiently, while pooping at work. That is, of course, the best possible time to be doing this. Always poop on company time. Don't waste your time at home. Get paid to poop. Line it up. If you're one of those people that are lucky enough that your first coffee in the morning's already got you going, I wish that was me. That ain't never been me, though. I could drink 6 liters of coffee. It don't make a damn difference. You are still muted, Mr. Black. You are being very animated, but you are still muted on my end.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now you can give yourself you can recant what is a coffee your first go.
Yes. So I could smell coffee and want to take a shit. That's
the opposite
so that's
of
like
me.
Okay. That's my go-to. That's my go-to thing. Like it's like if I feel like I'm backed up, it's like, all right, time to
have a coffee.
First thing in the morning, time to have a coffee, and then within 20 minutes, I'm ready to go.
That's not fair. I literally could drink a liter of coffee and it does not change any. I mean, I'm gonna have heart palpitations for the next 3 days, but it ain't gonna do anything for me in that regard. Another great show lined up for you as always, ladies and gentlemen. We've it's been for a while now. We'll remind you that any supported tier, $1 or higher, over on patreon.com/LagTV, which is a good place, by the way, even if you're not big on the podcast, but you're here occasionally and you're also here for the StarCraft and you're trying to figure out how you want to support us, and maybe some of the other avenues that we have for you aren't really getting you excited. Patreon is another method in which you can do it for all of our content. It just gets you some extra perks. For example, for $1 or more, we put up the post every week before we start the podcast, a few hours before, where you can ask us about news that happened since the last podcast in the video game world that you want us to talk about, or even the movie world. And then, of course, you can also ask us your tech support questions as well, which is a open forum. We will answer just about anything that you ask us within reason, of course. And so just a reminder of that. And even if we're in the middle of it being live, like let's say you're watching it live and you haven't gotten it in, I refreshed the post a couple times. It's not like you have to be in there before we start. And so, if you ever have something, you can always toss it in and it might get picked up anyway. Is it recorded? Is it unmuted? Is it thank you for the Lord of the Rings tie-in. It's definitely bald. I don't know about it being safe, but it's bald. And if these hives that I magically got this last few days don't go away, what little hairs on my head's gonna be scratched off at the fucking rate that I've been over here trying to get this shit to calm down. But that's my week, and we all know the most important question of the week is actually, Mr. Black, how's your week?
It's been a week.
Yeah.
The son is currently sick. So he's been home from school all week.
It's a day that ends in Y.
Kayla and Kai have been quarantined on the other side of the house. I've been sleeping by myself because I got to travel on Monday. So I'm like,
True.
Hey guys, and I'm going to Vegas. So it's like this ain't a flight to Montreal. It's like the last thing I want to do is be congested
on a long flight,
on a long ass flight at 4:00 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
And and then be there as well and be on a 4-hour jet lag. So my seeing my family at a distance
hello
the last 3 days. That's been that. So yeah, the house has just kind of been a little bit in shambles. But I mean, outside of that, it's like he's okay. But he's just been.
There's there's a lot of colds going through.
It's just a cold. Yeah, it's like
it's a lot of
the weather
colds
changing.
Right now.
The fucking kids at school.
Yep.
And it's like clockwork, man. I book a trip, which is rare in itself. And then just before I go, people get sick, and then I'm fucking on eggshells all the way leading up. So yeah, that's been pretty much it. That's been my week.
It's been and that's been a lot of coworkers of M's have been all out. Just colds everywhere. Everyone just fighting colds. Like no fevers, no nothing, but just congestion. And congestion headaches, that like pressure, those sinus pressure headaches and whatnot, and so it's just everywhere right now. And of course, the kids get it bad for that. I mean, this is the exact reason why, like the IWK Children's Hospital here just put out the thing to remind everyone that from as of a few days ago, I want to say it was Monday, everyone has to mask going in and out of the IWK. And they'll provide masks for you because RSV season's here. A lot of these colds going around, and so the Children's Hospital ain't playing no games.
Hell no
on that shit.
Hell no. In fact, my Kai and Kayla were down there this morning because he's got to get his.
Is he up for shots?
No. He's got to get what removed here? His anoids.
What the fuck is an anoid?
Yeah, ADENOIDS. He's got to get those removed. So he's got to in 8 to 10 weeks, he's gonna have surgery to get them removed. Apparently it's pretty common. Yeah.
How do you
it
spell
has
it?
something to do ADENIODS. Oh, maybe she spelled it wrong. So ADENOIDS. Yeah. So
chronic infections. Oh, so they figure that he's getting some chronic kind of infections and that might be contributing maybe to how often he's been sick. And so they're going to get rid of those at the back. I know what that is now.
Yeah. So he's been dealing with this. He was on a list waiting to see a specialist for fucking 9 months, and finally this morning was the day that he went to go get checked out. His tonsils are fine, that stuff, but apparently his anoids are larger than
inflamed.
And apparently this is like pretty common in kids.
It is
toddlers.
It is.
So they said it's a quick. He has to be put under.
It's a day surgery.
And he has to take like 4 or 5 days off school. Anyway, she's coming home with all the information for us to go over, and we ultimately make a decision if we want to send him or not. But so when he gets sick, it lingers. Anyway, it's just been a thing. It's not serious or anything like that. It's just but
it is annoying as shit. It's not. It's almost. It's similar to like tonsil removal, where sometimes it's similar where some people when they get ill, and even when they're not sick, their tonsils will just flare up, and it's basically like being sick at that point.
Correct.
Anyway, and so it's like the cousin to tonsillitis, more or less. And so if it doesn't go away on its own as the child ages, and of course, obviously, even adults get their tonsils removed, then they just give you the option. They're like, do you want to continue to be this way, or do you want to chop those bastards out of there? And so, that's, that's good. Well, and this might help them, not have this shit linger as well as much as well, which is
easier to breathe and stuff, like when he's sick and stuff. So it's just it's tougher when he sleeps. He's snores and just when it's inflamed and stuff.
It's it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Good to know that at least that's going to be sorted out. That's always a dub. My week was also another week. Nothing particularly crazy. I've been saying this for like 3 weeks now, but it's actually scheduling for next week. My exam will be for next week. I had 2 weeks of other events and stuff with M that overlapped and just made it impossible for me to really be able to lock down. And then also, of course, my internet being dead for a week kind of fucking put the brakes on writing the exam as well, since it's done online. So next week will be scheduled for that. So I've been doing some studying, but I'll be honest, my study sessions are 2 hours. and I can't look at that fucking book anymore. I'm so sick of looking at the book. I'm not even retaining any more information at this point. I feel like even if I were to like write it and I wouldn't get a great score, it's not for lack of studying. I'm like, if I study this book,
You're over it, bro.
I'm over it. And I'm annoyed because I wanted to write it ages ago, but life, finds a way. And it just, because of the specificity of doing the online testing, you get a book 3 business days or whatever in advance because they have a proctor that basically you turn a webcam on, they're watching you the whole time you're writing it to make sure you're not cheating. Like don't look down too many times or they might think that you got your phone out fucking answering questions on real estate on your multiple choice test. So like there's this whole song and dance and it's got to be set up just so. And so if you can't, and when you schedule, if you have to reschedule, if it's not in a very specific window, you got to pay again. Because again, there's a proctor. So you're basically paying a proctor to show up for X number of hours, right? For you to write this exam. So I was just like, I don't want to have to fucking be paying $100 every time I have to reschedule. So I've really been trying to find a pocket to write. So that's going to be next week. So I've just been doing some studying and getting the house ready for winter, cleaned up a lot of the property, cut all the stuff that needs to be cut down and whatnot. Made sure that our roof patches that we did are in good shape, which they are, thankfully, because we had a lot of rain. Fuck me, thank God we patched that shit. Because the amount of rain we've had in the last week, oh my God. We're making up for lost time, Mr. Black. We didn't have any in the summer, and it's just all here now, all at once.
Better than snow.
So, yes, which is what Ontario got. So we're getting the jet stream fucked Ontario and at least allowed us some, just rain. We did not have to shovel it, although we did get, and I'm sure you were up early enough to see it, a little bit. Yeah. It snowed slightly. And I was like, oh, no, not right now. Don't do it to me. And thankfully, it was just in the morning, bright and early. And it was gone.
Still too mild for it to stay, right? So
yeah, I was like, oh, thank fuck. But I was, what the first thought going through my mind was, taking Em to work that morning was, there's going to be accidents everywhere. I was like, please just let me get her to work and back. I don't want to. Because it's kind of the point where I feel like, well, there was one week where there was an accident a day on the route to drop her off to work and back.
Oh, she's going to be almost done work now, right? She's probably got maybe another 3 weeks to a month?
Yeah, she's hoping. Her thing right now is like her energy level and her general discomfort is typically fine if she has like the 7 to 7 shift. Because it's nighttime where she's really, by the end of the day, she's getting toasted. Her back's starting to hurt. The groin pain is starting to kick up, that kind of shit. And so when she's just working 7 to 7, she's typically fine. Like she's okay. So she wants to work until close to the end of December, like probably getting up to Christmas break.
Christmas time. Yeah.
And she'll even work it if she can, because that's just like big pay bonuses and stuff through that time. And because apparently our nurses, which are heroes according to our government, are not actually, despite having one of the strongest unions as well, not worth providing a full year of maternity leave pay. You only get 6 to 7 months of top up, and then you're just on straight unemployment for the rest of the time.
It's a joke, bro.
That's crazy work. Crazy. How do you have like the strong, second only, I think, to the teachers union, and then a government that is basically like screaming for nurses to stay, and also we want children, and then they're like, okay, well, if you're a nurse, we're going to give you half of a year.
Yeah, we're going to need you back as soon as possible. Figaro daycare.
Oh boy.
Don't worry. We've got, we put in place $10 a day daycare, but good luck being on a 5,000 person wait list. So really, in reality, no. Just getting fucked.
The worst part is the hospital used to have daycare for staff. That used to be a thing. Wow. So when my aunt was the what do they call it, civil engineer that was heading up at the hospital, like they had childcare on site for healthcare workers because it was bad then, and people needed, workers needed to be able to obviously get into work, but still have their kids taken. So they had that. That was the thing. It's gone now. But that wouldn't be a half bad fucking idea. Shot in the dark. You have your healthcare workers have on-site daycare. But yeah, that $10 a day thing, like on paper, great. The problem is that when they launched it, they didn't have the subsidy in place yet, which is still one of the greatest bumblefucks of all time. Is because it's not even the annoying thing is it's not even that it doesn't work. Like the government is funding, like the $10, it's there, but they launched it and forced the $10 a day almost 6 or 9 months like before they had the funding in place. And so in that 6 to 9 month period, we lost like 30 or more % of all open daycares because they didn't have subsidy and they couldn't afford, because like certain ones were so big, they couldn't afford to survive long enough, and then they never came back. And so now we're screwed. Like life support.
We're screwed.
That's fucking, and the woman that headed that up, I think she kept her job. Like, who gets to make such cataclysmic errors and still keep their job? Only CEOs and politicians. It's the only two people I can think of that can keep that kind of fucking job. You know, how do you fuck up so hard? But yeah, it's true. Don't go. That's bad. Yeah. Other than that, week's been fine. I was excited this week. I got my fancy 4K HDR Blu-ray player in. I mentioned that on one of the games this week, StarCraft game. So watched John Wick. Watched the first Lord of the Rings extended, of course. It is unfortunate. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. So one of the shittiest things about the even really high-end Blu-ray players, which is what I got because I got a good open box deal, and it was basically brand new. I mean, the shit wasn't even out the bag when I got it. So it's probably one that they like, opened up in store and then just put in an open box location. But on some of these like multi-layer Blu-ray discs, which they use now to like get more storage on them for these big 4K HDR files, some players, no matter how good they are, they're finicky when it starts to have to read this, like the second layer in the disc. And so you'll get like artifact blocking and audio skipping or outright freezing for parts of the movie. And I didn't get any of that in John Wick. And so I was like, oh, I'm in the clear. And I put in Lord of the Rings, and it happened probably about 2/3 of the way into the movie. And I had to skip about what would have been about maybe 10 minutes of movie time, and then it was fine again. But the disc was clean and everything, so I don't know. If it happens with more, because I've got a selection, then I have a warranty on this. It doesn't matter. I'll just have them replace the unit. But I looked into it, and it was like, it just do be like that sometimes. And some of it is also, like, Paramount apparently are really bad about producing discs that do that to players. Like, Paramount just apparently does a shit job at producing their discs. But I will say this, as I mentioned on the game. Oh my god. I mean, we just watched John Wick not long ago, and we also watched Lord of the Rings not long ago. Because they're like, we're those people that watch our favorite movie. We don't watch all the new stuff all the time. If we just feel like putting on a movie we like, we just put on a movie that we fucking like. Which is part of why I wanted to own this in the first place, was if I'm going to do it, I don't want to have to like gamble. Like Lord of the Rings is one of those things that sometimes it's on a service, and then the licensing gets passed to somebody else. And if you don't have that service, you're fucked. And then you're renting the movie anyway to be able to like get access to it. But oh my god, dude. Like I said, I'll say it one more time. First time in ever, actually, that I have not had to put subtitles on for M, because the audio quality was so much better. I asked her, we were watching, and this is Lord of the Rings, so there's like some, the accents can be kind of heavy, and that can obviously fuck her up a little bit too. And some of the words, obviously this is a Tolkien book-based thing, some of the words could go, but she said, nah, I'm actually good. And I was like, fucking, holy shit, I watched a movie with no words on the bottom of it for like the first time in 5 years. Huge win. So very excited about that. John Wick's such a fucking good movie, dude, in general. But this encode of it was fire. And I'm excited. I got Obviously, Interstellar. I might watch that tonight with her. I'm a little nervous because Interstellar gave me problems on other players in the past with just the regular 1080p disc. So I'm hoping that we don't get fucked on this one. But, bro, it took me back because I remember when I first bought like a good regular Blu-ray player years ago. Fucking God. I mean, how long has Blu-ray been around? And it was such a fucking like step up in visual and audio quality. It was just like blowing my fucking mind. And this is the first time since then where I've legitimately, because I have your Series X, your Xbox, and it has 4K HDR playback capability on discs. Or at least Blu-ray HDR as well. I don't know if it has 4K Ultra HD, but anyway, it does an admirable job, but it's not like amazing. It's nice in that you can just put some discs in and it will work most of the time. But this was, Jesus Lord, I know I'm sounding like a snob here, but if you, like, honest to Christ, like, it is a legitimate, even Emma, this is my litmus test. I know I'm going to notice it, personally, because I'm a snob, right? I'm the audio, visual asshole. I'm the guy that goes to Jeff's when he buys a new TV. I turn off the fucking, like, motion interpolation. I fucking do all that shit. He's in another room because he'll get upset. I remember when he first bought his OLED and he came back in the room. We were getting set up for some shit at the time. I can't remember what we were watching. It might have been a UFC event, but it wasn't started yet. And he went to go use the washroom or something. And I got the remote out and I was fucking going as fast as I could to turn shit. Because as soon as he came back, he was like, "Oh, God damn it. Put the controller down. It doesn't matter."
It.
But my test is for M, who couldn't be further from fucking noticing any of this shit. And even she noticed the fucking difference. So, yeah, it's real. And it was exciting. You know what it did for me? It made me excited to watch movies.
There you go. That's good.
Kind of like I bet when you got, obviously when you bought your place you're in now, and you saw that, I bet you that theater room was one of the biggest selling points of the house because it got you excited
of course.
to go watch movies.
Of course, and I've got a crazy projector in there, man. I got like the Sony
you upgraded
4K native.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm
like
not
you
even
upgraded
proud
not long
about
ago.
how much that was. Yeah, oh yeah.
Did you
like,
have to change your screen material when you bought the new projector, or was it good enough to be able to take the?
No, they came in and they calibrated everything, and they were like, "Yeah,
oh,
your
okay,
screen
good.
Is still your screen is still good."
Because sometimes you have to fucking like, oh yeah,
nutter.
Which is great because in your room it's a specific room, so you can light control in that room, which is so important for a projector. But listen. You don't necessarily need to go full 150-inch fucking projector, but it is like I used to own a bunch of movies and and everything else, and I would, because I enjoyed the experience of just watching stuff at home.
Of course.
And I've had all these streaming services, and what it made me realize is that I've grown to just not give a fuck. Like I was just putting stuff on, but when I put that disc in and I sat down and watched it, I didn't pick up my phone. I was just there watching a fucking movie. And so, big advocate, you don't have to spend a fortune, but big advocate, go get a player. If you got a half-decent TV, and half-decent TVs are fucking cheap now. I mean, Jesus Christ, you can get a really good-looking television for not a lot of money, especially with the sales right now. I mean, they're giving televisions away in a lot of places. I bet most people will have a similar thing. Well, they might look forward, like legitimately look forward to watching something again. There is something about having to own and then put it in. There is a ritual there that is missing when you just sit down and you have 700,000 movies on Netflix or Disney Plus that changes how you view the viewing experience of a movie. And so, yeah, highly fucking recommend. So that was my week, mostly. And I look forward to watching some more. If we watch Interstellar, I'll let you know next week how that looks. Jeff will know immediately because I'll probably be fucking spam texting him the moment that the black hole scene comes up and I'm having an orgasm in my living room watching it. But very much that. And now let's talk about what the fine folks at home are interested in hearing us talk. I mean, there's a couple of big pieces. I'm sure you even saw a couple of these this week. So I'm sure some of those will come up. What? You know what? I'm going to do this one. This comes in from our boy, Mr. Black, one of our boys. It's Major Awesome. Major Awesome hooking us up with a question.
Okay.
He said, hey guys. Hello, Major.
What's up, Major?
Question for both of you. Have you guys ever made a decision that went against your own beliefs, and did you benefit from it yourselves? The answer is probably yes, but what would be that thing if you look back at the decision that you made? Are you still happy of that decision or proud of that decision that you made? So have you ever made a decision that went against, presumably at the time, your own beliefs? And in that decision, I'm assuming what he's saying is, did you benefit from a decision that you made that went against your beliefs? Because that's a moral conundrum. There are lots of times in life where you're presented with something that might benefit you financially or otherwise, but you know that when you make that decision, it might go against some sort of belief that you have at the time.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Like fairly recently. I mean, I got a new car. It's a couple years old now. But I was totally against ever having a payment of any sort for any vehicle.
Right.
And I didn't have one for probably 10 years. I told myself never again. And although I bought my car outright, part of the balance was tied to a rental property.
HELOC or whatever?
A HELOC. It's actually, it was a HELOC, but now it's like more of a
you
traditional,
converted it?
Converted into a traditional mortgage.
Yeah.
So like the tenants pay part of it, but I still have a payment. It's not a small payment, but it's not a big payment.
Yeah.
But it is a payment nonetheless, and it still irks me today. The only reason why I didn't fully pay it off, it is paid again. It's paid, but again, it's tied onto a property. So in theory, I am still paying interest on this thing, and although I can write off part of it and it kind of all works out, it still does irk me. And I had a big cash out refinance from these other rentals, and then I ended up buying this other apartment building with my partner, and so I used the majority of the funds that I was originally going to take to pay off that, and now I have to wait about another 18 months before it's gone. So like in less than 2 years, assuming I don't trade in the car or sell it, I will have it paid when I get another cash out refinance from somewhere else. But one way or another, that went against my I don't know if you want to call it morals. I don't think it's like a moral thing, but it's just one of my hard no's, like, don't do this. It's not smart.
Yeah.
And because the car is just ridiculous, that like I just didn't have the money, like the cash to just buy it. And it was the cheapest way. If I went for traditional automobile financing, it would have been like 8.8%, but instead I put it in through a mortgage at 5.1%, which is infinitely better.
Yeah.
So, I opted to go that way. In reality, I probably should have stuck to my guns on like no, and just not have gotten a new car. But again, it's made me happy. I've enjoyed it. It's put me in front of other people that are like-minded, and other things have kind of spanned off from that, and I can write it off and that sort of things with content. But it definitely is against it. I definitely went against my own thing. So yeah, and I like the other one is like I didn't break that, like a mortgage, like as like once it's done, it's done. I ain't and I broke that. I broke that from the last house. So that was paid, and then I ended up getting this house, and I had a mortgage. But in a roundabout way, that worked out because it kind of put me against. It took me out of my comfort zone, and it's like, okay, I got to tackle this. So I ended up tackling that a while ago, but with the car, it's a little bit different because it's not an asset. It's just It's a
That's a
liability. I know it's
depreciating asset.
well, it is, but it isn't as like a regular car, right? Like
No,
this
obviously,
is,
yeah.
this is like, this thing don't drop 40-50%, 40,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't. It just doesn't. So as long as you take care of it. So yeah. But again, it is a depreciating asset.
Yeah.
Unlike a piece of real estate. So yeah, I would say that's definitely one, and I still kind of beat myself up over it once in a while. But again, when I'm in it and I'm enjoying it, I'm happy I have it. So it's just like one of those conundrums for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So
It's true. Man, I've been trying to think this whole time you've been talking about yours. I was trying to piece together something on my side. I mean, I'm pretty good about not putting myself in a situation in which I'm tested in that way. So I don't have a lot of times in which that scenario has even come up. The closest thing I can think of would be like over the years of being a content creator when I was obviously significantly bigger on like my individual stream, there were lots of sponsorship opportunities that came my way back in like 2012, 13, 14, that golden era, that I didn't take because one of my core philosophies when I became a content creator and I was monetizing the content that I was doing was to never, at least on my own personal one with Lag TV, we always have to compromise on who we're going to go in, and we have to find the happy place on Lag TV content. But for like my own personal side, I always said that I would never hawk a product, meaning I would never take like, let's say, a Razer sponsorship or whatever. Back in the day, there was a million, but Razer is just the first one that comes on because they were fucking sponsoring everyone back then. I would never take a sponsorship for products that I don't personally or wouldn't personally use. So like if I wasn't, and not in the sense that like, typically when they were taking sponsorships back in the day, people would be, I'm wearing my Razer headset, I'm using my Razer, but if I was doing it just for the sponsorship and I had equipment at the house that I actually would have rather used, like my typical shit, then that was the line I would draw. We would like, I'm just not, because I felt disingenuous at that point. I'm telling people to do stuff that or buy stuff that I wouldn't personally ever actually buy.
My worker, and I was with Razer, right? Although they didn't pay me directly, it was through
that was just
like esports teams.
Yeah.
And same, I was direct. I did have something direct with Corsair and direct with Ozone, even Logitech at one point, Sennheiser at one point.
Yeah. Sennheiser was an easy one for obvious reasons.
I mean, I still use it. The thing is with me, and I was upfront and honest with these peripheral companies where I'm like, hey, listen, like I'm only going to promote and use products that I would actually use. If you're going to send me, it was the same thing with Razer. And Ozone. It was the same thing. It was like, listen, if you're going to send me headphones and I've got Sennheisers that are just infinitely better.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I will promote your keyboard and mouse, but I ain't promoting your headphones. Like, I'm just not, because I'm not going to tell people to go and buy this, or go like, this is a great product if I don't use it. It don't mean I'm going to shit on those products. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, no, don't buy that because it's trash. I just won't speak about them, and then I'll just highlight the stuff within their catalog that like I actually enjoy and use. And then it's up to the viewer if they want to go and buy headphones, right? Like, not everybody has, $500 to spend on headphones. So like, something like a Razer headphone or Ozone or something along those lines for, $100, $150 is a great option for most people. But like, we're content creators and we're sitting with these things on our heads 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day. I need to be comfortable. Like, and I want to hear things like the way they're meant to be heard. So, that was my workaround. And that's one thing I never shied on. Like, I'll be honest, man, like, if somebody I pass down, I have passed down quite a bit of money over the years, but like if the money was fucking good,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like, okay, hey, listen, although I'm not a huge fan of like this specific video game, you're gonna pay me $5,000 to play it for, you know, 10 hours in a week or 5 hours. I'm playing the fucking game. I'm sorry.
Oh, that I never had a problem with,
yeah.
in the sense that like I didn't feel like I was selling the game. Like those types of things always, it's like we do with Like TV now. Even back then, everyone knew if a streamer was playing a game that's not in their regular rotation, and it's like some off-brand fucking game or whatever the hell or whatnot, or they play it for like 3 days and they never touch it again. Everyone was aware of what was going on. Like the viewership was aware that you weren't trying to sell them per se on the game.
Yeah.
You tried to make it look fun or whatever because that's what you're getting paid to do. But it always, like when it came to like products specifically, yeah, I couldn't. And it wasn't like back then I was wearing, for example, with headphones, I wasn't wearing 6XXs or like 650s. I was wearing 598s, which on a yearly basis were
not expensive.
$89 US headphones. And sounded a gajillion times better than fucking like everything else. So yeah, that was always just tough. Now for me, it was easier to a degree because I was big enough to get lots of sponsorship opportunities at the time for those 3 years. But they never came with such a big dollar value that it was super tempting. Because back then, most of the sponsorships were, unless
product.
you really was just product. That's all they wanted to give you is product. And so it was easier for me to just be like, you know, I've already got all the shit. You know, for other creators that didn't have anything, it was always huge because they're like, oh, I get free keyboard, I get free mouse, I get free headset, I get free fucking monitor, I get whatever. But I was sitting here going, I already have better than all of your shit. I don't need it.
Yeah.
And so unless it's something that I know that my viewers would benefit from by buying it themselves, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. That's about the only thing I can think of, because just generally speaking in life, I rarely put myself in a position in which those types of scenarios, like those conundrums, ever become a thing or ever arise. As to the answer, am I happy or proud of it? I mean, I don't think I'm not proud in the sense that I think that I deserve a fucking cookie for sticking to principles, or anything like that. Am I happy that I didn't get a bunch of people to buy TTE branded headphones? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Save some people some money. I guess. I
think I may have. I was with TTE for a bit on an esports team.
Dude, TTEs. Do you remember
not
the
headphones,
irony?
but the keyboard. I used the keyboard.
Yeah, the keyboard for a long time. Do you remember the irony of TTE's advertisements being so loud that it would like break people's fucking eardrums for a while? Do you remember that? There was a period of time where their advertisements specifically, if it popped up on YouTube or whatever, were ear piercing. They were like leveled to 0 dB. That shit was going out fucking master track, was not prepared for regular consumption at all. I always just found that really ironic because it was like a headphone advertisement and they were just making your ears bleed the entire fucking time. Yeah. Let's see here. Liam asks, what are the historical themes, places, or time periods that interest you the most?
I mean, I always go back to like the Roman times.
Yeah.
It's the name Maximus comes
as long as you're not the one physically in the Colosseum fighting.
Yeah, hell no. But I would say that those times really intrigue me. Yeah. I like the Vikings as well, like that sort of era.
Yeah.
I think there's something like really, I mean, literally barbaric and like kind of primal.
One could say there was some forced genetic spreading going on at that time, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I mean, I don't find that cool, but like,
it's but like the
time just the wild west of it, the fucking dog eat dog. It's almost like the way you look at nature, but with humans. Like,
that's because we were still very close to it at that point. We still hadn't
it's just like there's just something really primal about it, like very, I don't know, and I find that
Technically
wanna
uncivilized
say-
is probably going to be
yeah.
the word for
Uncivilized?
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
at
there you
the
go.
time.
Uncivilized.
Because really the Vikings had a lot of cool shit and their culture was definitely interesting. But the uncivilized is probably when they left their own shores was definitely a little uncivilized. They did some shit.
Oh,
But
there's some wild shit.
everyone did some shit.
Bro,
at
there's
the time.
still wild shit that happens right now.
Right now. Yeah. True. True and factual.
In places of combat and weird. I bet
people do some weird shit.
Wild stuff from all walks, from every timeline
that has not stopped
because humans are humans. And they're just gonna do crazy, dumb, wild shit. But yeah, those two are the ones that, like, whenever there's like a good film or a good documentary or something, like, I'm kind of like drawn into it.
Yeah, for sure. Man. I mean, there's so many like random points in history that would be kind of crazy to just witness certain things happening or experience for the learning. Because, the thing about history, obviously, is that it's, there's many things to be said about it, but it's written by the victors, right? So being able to see, going back and being able to, like, from a bird's eye view, see certain historic events happen as they did would be super intriguing. But as far as, like, what is just kind of intriguing to me, I don't know. I mean, just generally speaking, I'm intrigued by just pre-industrial revolution anywhere in the world, because that was, the Industrial Revolution was kind of the precursor, or not the precursor, well, it is to a degree, but what we're experiencing with AI right now, where the world changed dramatically, workforce changed, life in general, massive shift after Industrial Revolution. So everything before then, pick a time, it's interesting to me. Just I'll say this on the topic of Lord of the Rings. So Tolkien basing to some degree the hobbits on the people that inhabited the shires and whatnot, and villages, if you will, on the out in the fields and otherwise away from more dense towns in England. That lifestyle, I think, always appeals to lots of people, right? It's there's a lot to be worried about because every day you get up, everything that you do contributes not just to like, not necessarily to somebody else's pocketbook so that you can get paid out of it, but everything is contributing to you just surviving in general. So whether you're farming or whatnot, but that's also, I think it speaks to a little bit to maybe what modern life is like, that people romanticize that a bit, because some people would rather all of their worries be distilled down to, I need to go outside and work the farm or work a field so that we have food for the winter, and then rinse and repeat that cycle and be okay with that versus 9 to 5 constant layoff, hellscape that a lot of people are experiencing now. So I think those would be interesting times to see as well. Just the points in time in which life was so dramatically different than what it is now. That would be intriguing to me. Because the romanticization of it is, I think, what it is. It's romanticizing it. Because obviously the reality is our great-grandparents or otherwise that would have experienced that. There was a lot of downsides. Health was not great. Average age, not fucking fantastic. But there might also be something to be said about, I guess if you were to talk to some of those people, what would be the general happiness level of many of those people? I'd like to see that in real time. Because if I asked my grandmother, the one that passed just a few years ago, because she died when she was damn near 100, she would live through the Great Depression, all that stuff. She was sharp right up to the end. She said many times, she said, you know what? Shit was rough. I'm not going to lie. Shit was tough. But everyone was happier.
I believe it.
Just everything was fucking rough. But people were just in general just happier. And so, yeah, I think that would be just interesting to see that in real time, because it's hard to take yourself out of today and really be able to think about it objectively. Let's see here. Gaming news from Jubinator. Have or will either of you guys check out Dispatch? It's been receiving high praise and has some awesome voice actors and YouTubers in it. Yeah, they've got it's a star-studded lineup in that thing. Highly recommend it. My answer to that is no. It does look good. It's not that I think it looks bad. I'm not really big on that genre of game. No matter how many times they try to show me the fucking scene in my YouTube shorts where fucking Invisible Girl or whatever the fucking other girl is that's got her tits out for Harambe, and that, like, no matter how often you show me that thirst trap, I ain't fucking downloading your game, bro. But it's star-studded, it's well done, but not on my list, and I can tell you without even asking Mr. Black, the answer is no. He would not be playing Dispatch. It's just not gonna...
Don't even know what it is. Never heard of it in my life. Don't care to know.
Let's see. Movies. Who is your favorite actor to watch currently and why? Who is your current shortlisted actor, Mr. Black?
Currently. Oh. Man, I'm old school, man. I like Denzel Washington, bro. Like Denzel, he put something out. I'm in the theater, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I really like Brad Pitt as well. I like Tom Cruise. I like the traditional movie stars, like the ones I grew up with, that are also good actors. Like, they're not just like a Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who's just like, you know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Which, you know, I heard his Smashing whatever he did good in, but again, I haven't seen that because it's just like, just don't fucking care. In terms of like new actors, I don't really have like a list of actors or actresses that I'm all excited to see. Yeah,
not new ones anyway. Not yet.
New ones. Yeah.
Because I mean, really thinking about like who's broke out into like super mainstream that are very young actors. I mean, really, your list is pretty short, right? Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, but I still don't get that excited like when I hear Timothy Chalamet is in a movie.
No, that's what I mean.
I usually get excited about the project he's typically part of.
Yes, exactly,
like,
yeah.
Not necessarily the actor himself. I'm not like, oh man, Timothy. I'm not on his IMDb like seeing what's coming up for him. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm old school, man. I'm old school. I'm still old school.
I'm trying to think of like who would be considered new. Like who really is new and upcoming that would have done enough films at this point that somebody could look at it and go, you know, I'm excited to see what this person does next. There's really not that many. Most of them, for me, I agree, are people that have already been in the game for so long that they're probably considered still to be, to some degree, in that old guard or close to it, right? Like one standard deviation away from Denzel Washington, right? Like your Brad Pitts, your Matt Damons, I mean, shit, I'll put Keanu in there. If it's an action film and he's in it, I'm watching that movie. I don't give a fuck. Yep. You know, I'll watch Nicolas Cage movies. I don't care if they're good or bad because it's Nicolas Cage. This shit's crazy.
Yeah, hey, Michael B. Jordan. I like Michael B. Jordan. The thing is I don't actually think Michael B. Jordan is the strongest actor. But I think he's got like a lane, and he's really good at understanding his range as an actor. He's gotten better over the years.
Like he doesn't make the movie. The movie needs to be right for him to.
Yeah, but I do like Michael B. Jordan. I you know, if there's a Michael B. Jordan movie out, I'm going to see it. You know what I mean? I agree with that. So I mean, that's a good shout there. But outside of that, I don't. And I mean, it's been known for a long time that the traditional movie star is dying.
Gone.
Like
Yeah.
it's gone. You know what I mean? Like when Denzel, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, when they're done,
Nobody's
they're
replacing them right now.
no, like it's just not. You know, I don't know. I don't know.
Which is interesting because, well, yeah, what we're seeing, kind of like the for those who might be considered the newer age version of that, even they're thinning the numbers at this point, and you're only seeing them really pop up. Like you know, like you to some weird degree, you could probably get a good idea of who is considered to be in that list, based on who shows up in the like whatever, what's his name, the fucking director that does all the fucking
Nolan.
no. These are like more like art housey films, but then every
Oh.
actor and actress wants to work with them, like every time, like oh my goodness, like I'm trying to think of one of the last.
Denis.
No. Fuck me. Not a blockbuster guy. My brain is so fucked today, dude. I should be able to pull this name off the top of my head. Wes Anderson.
Oh, okay.
So like if you like, but you know, when Wes Anderson calls somebody and then his movie comes out and it has 12 fucking people in it, you can probably look at that list and get a pretty good idea of the closest thing to old Hollywood actor type people, because Wes is like the recruiter. If you make it into a Wes Anderson film where you're doing like some real hard character work, then that's kind of like you're there. You're not a Tom Cruise in that sense, but like in terms of like the classical Hollywood actor,
a Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yeah,
like
that's where
he's
you're
like the bridge between sort of the old school movie star and the newer-ish school movie star, but he doesn't want to really be like a movie star. He wants to just create artistic movies and and act. He's not really interested. You don't see Leonardo DiCaprio in a Marvel film. You don't see Leonardo DiCaprio in some sort of like blockbuster, unless it's Christopher Nolan, right? Like he's the only one. And even Nolan's got sort of a thing about him. You know what I mean? Like it isn't your standard.
He flirts with both sides. He's the guy that can do both simultaneously. Like he can do a thinking movie that also just so happens to be a blockbuster.
Like a thinking movie that feels cinematic and not like a popcorn film. Like even his biggest ones, like Interstellar or Inception.
Yeah.
You know, those are, Inception's much more action based, but even that's got it's
a thinker.
A thinker. Yeah. It's not, it's dense. It's not really, there it is, shove your face with popcorn and you walk out and anybody can enjoy it. It's one of those films that like you got to pay attention. You got to like, prepare yourself. Your mind's got to be in it. If not, you might walk out of these movies and go, "Oh, this is boring. I didn't get it," or you know what I mean? Like, those are his types of films. So
so like as far as like new, I really don't fucking know. And if I'm gonna be honest, like I could list some people that if I hear that they're doing a movie, there aren't many that I'll hear they're doing it. I'm gonna watch every movie that they do. It still depends on the movie that they're doing. But there are a list that if I hear that they're doing a movie, it gets shortlisted into the I'm probably going to watch this at some point type situation. Like Brendan Fraser right now is that guy for me. He comes out with a movie, there's a really good chance that I'm going to watch that movie at some point. Woody Harrelson. I'll even put Matthew McConaughey in there now that he's no longer just doing fucking rom-coms and he hasn't for a long time.
McConaughey. He's one of my favorites. I really like Matthew McConaughey a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, shortlisted, but not necessarily run out. And none of them new. I cannot name you anyone that's new that would get me going to watch that. And then his tech support follow-up. Would you rather beach house or lake house? And then have no plumbing or no electricity?
Lake house. I mean, that's the other question's stupid. I guess if you're at a lake house, then give me no plumbing. No electricity is insane. I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
that's
if you're just running everything off of like, if you're running everything off of gas power or oil or something like that, then
okay. Well,
all
if
that stuff is
okay. If
but
that's the
if you're losing
case,
your
then
computer, your phone, like
yeah,
stuff like that, then
no. Because like with running water,
yeah,
like you could still have an outhouse, you could still use the bathroom, but then you could go to the gym or whatever and shower and get
yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
yeah. Give me no plumbing.
I'd rather electricity. Yeah, like get rid of the plumbing, but like kind of weird to have a lake house and no plumbing. Although like, I guess it'd be weirder to have a beach house and no plumbing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And I would take the lake over the beach because the lake is more private. Unless I had my own section that was like cut off of the public.
Yeah.
But again, then you still dealing with salt water. That stuff can damage your home. I mean, if there's bad storms, like it can create.
Yeah.
Give me the lake. Give me the lake.
A
right?
beach
You can do a
house
lot
is
more things. It's safer, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, a beach house is a good idea right up until you have a massive storm.
Yeah.
And if you're not on a sheltered cove, you're experiencing not the greatest time. You're in the thick of it. The Blainer. What are your thoughts on companies like Factor, WeCook, and HelloFresh? Is there a lot of there are a lot of sponsors for them. I personally have used them all. Wondering if you'd use them. Well, I mean, we had the Factor run here. I have never personally used any of them myself, and I think that the model is interesting. I think that it's useful for a number of people. I just don't know if they're sustainable at the rate in which all of them are, because all of them are trying to be the survivor right now. So, like you mentioned,
the thing
three
is,
of them there.
Factor and HelloFresh are made by, or is owned by the same company.
But
they do two different things, right?
Yeah, one is the
groceries,
ingredients,
and you gotta make the stuff.
Yeah.
Factor, which is one that I prefer. I've actually used HelloFresh. When I first did a partnership with them, they sent us stuff, and we actually used it.
Yep.
Well, Kayla did because she does all the cooking. But Factor, I haven't used personally. Because when I did a small partnership with them, it didn't come with a thing. I think I could have tried it one time and they'd like reimburse me for it, but it wasn't a subscription thing. But what I like about Factor is it's you put it in the microwave, you heat it up, and you eat. It's like a gourmet TV dinner, right?
Yeah.
I think that is, for me, it's better because with HelloFresh, you're paying a premium to like have stuff come to your home. You're getting fresh food. It's delivered to your door,
and you're still having to do prep.
And you still have to prep it. And you still have to cook it, right? I'd rather just go to the grocery store, spend a little bit less money, and then do the same thing right at home. But I understand why some people may, if they have a hectic, busy schedule, lifestyle, it makes sense, right? But I think it's like a service that I think everybody would find benefit in? I don't. I think I think for both of these or any of these meal things, it's more so of a lifestyle,
Yeah.
And I think that for me, the Factor one, it'd be great because you can tailor your macros and your different things for your specific diet or your needs. If you're keto, if you're whatever the case may be, you get it, you put it in, you know what's in it, you eat it, you're good to go. You throw away the container, you're off to the races. They ship it to your door. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I would say that I agree that like any service that does that makes the most sense. I think that the two primary groups I can think of that would benefit most from this are people who are it's the it's probably going to benefit most the people who are professionals, but it's like the stereotypical professional. All I do is work all day, Even when I'm at home, I'm just eyes bleeding into a monitor somewhere, what have you, and they feel like they just don't have the time to do anything else, so they just do that. But I feel like when you get into that market, part of the problem is also to some degree is that a lot of those people are just eating out. So whatever the product is, it has to. You're finding somebody that is either working so much but still somehow not making enough money to just eat out most of the time, which is a lot of people in a lot of major cities right now, because a lot of major cities have a lot of places because there's so much competition where eating out is probably not a far cry from.
Oh no, yeah. No,
like an actual factor meal.
It's cheaper. They're getting these subscriptions is cheaper than eating out for sure.
Yeah. So you have to compete on that level. And then I think the other thing that it benefits the most that's probably not being used because it might just be out pricing them out a bit is for seniors. In places where they're not living in a downtown core where not everything is so readily available. Like if they're like here for us, where most people have to have a car in order to get to your grocery store. When you get to a certain age, that becomes quite an event for some people. And so for some seniors or retirees, that might be a really beneficial, especially from, like you said, from macros and whatnot. You can tailor it, and that's very beneficial for a lot of people that are senior age. But I think where they're making most of their money is, unfortunately, is just lazy people that don't want to fucking cook and they don't want to fucking buy groceries.
I mean, if they provide a service, then hey,
and that's fine, and that go for it. But my question is, I'm wondering. I haven't looked recently, but I do know for a long time. There's still there's still that classic startup thing where they're just burning money, like they're running on investment, like Uber. Like Uber is just still to this day running almost exclusively on a constant stream of investment funds. And so the question that I have is that business model sustainable, or is this a short-term thing that they're hoping becomes sustainable because they can capture a large enough market? But if anything, I agree with Jeff that if any of these existed, I think the majority of people that would have a big enough market is that it's already done. Because just having groceries delivered, while convenient, you're still paying such a premium that you might just as well have the meals mostly be done as well. Because otherwise, what are you doing? You're saving yourself like a...
Well, I think what they do is they give you the recipes, like they you're trying
they give you
stuff, right? Like it's like you get like your own sort of cookbook, and they give you the stuff.
You're still doing
getting
the labor
the right
portion.
ingredients, the right amount. You know what I mean? There isn't waste. There isn't. You're getting what you need, right? So there's to the right people, it makes sense. It does. It's not something that if I was a single guy, Factor would be something that I would consider for sure. Because if not, I'm going to be Uber Eatsing fucking, all the goddamn time, and that is an absolute scamaz. Oh, bro, it's a scamaz, dude.
It was a scamaz before. Now it is
my trainer at the gym, I give him shit all the time, bro. So like he gets Starbucks, right? And he gets like one of those like 1 liter of cold coffee, like the iced coffees.
Okay. Is it just black or something?
No, it's just like an iced coffee. It's in a big fucking huge, like almost like
I'm just wondering if he's sugaring the fuck out of it, or if he's just doing like a black iced coffee.
I think he likes it black, and then he might add a little bit of sweetener because he's like crazy diet and shit, right? So he doesn't add a bunch of garbage. Like he's just
that's what I was thinking.
Super strict, right? He's a bodybuilder. So anyway, I give him shit all the time because he orders one of these things, and by the time it gets there, he's spending like $20.
Oh.
I'm like, bro, stop the madness. Then they charge you like $4 or $5 fee just to like for the service, right? And then they expect a tip. Then you're already paying, Starbucks, level of it's just nuts.
Which is crazy because like I can understand when people go to Starbucks or whatnot when they're getting like really complicated drinks, right? that would take a long time and a lot of shit at home to put together. And for Starbucks, it's like a syrup that they just pump in and they're fucking like off to the races. But black iced coffee with like a little bit of like let's say like just a coffee creamer of something that's got a little flavoring in it. You know, he's like you said, he's a bodybuilder, he's not trying to go ham. Just buy a fucking like a press, a big French press. Because for iced coffee, you're putting coffee in a press and leaving it in the fridge. It's just in the fridge.
Adam, you and I both know. People want what they want, bro. They like the Starbucks. They like they look forward to the thing. I know trust me, I know, bro. I know, but you know, humans are just gonna get what they want to get, right? And that's just that. But yeah, it's foolish.
God damn. Like for me, I go like honestly, I get it to a degree. Like sometimes I'll go to Starbucks, the one nearby. I mentioned this on the stream the other day where I was like, I was just saying like the one Starbucks I go to, all of the employees are amazing. They're sweet. I talk to them like while my food is getting done or whatever. I'm just, you know, they're chatty. I have a fucking nickname at this place for Christ's sake. Like they know me. I drive up to the fucking like drive-through. They fucking know who we are at this point. And so like there's a small value in that because a long time I remember mentioning that like one of my small little things that I get joy out of in life is when I do have a couple of spots that I go to, whether it's a sit-down restaurant or if it's a drive-through somewhere where I've gone there enough that I know the people that are working there. And it's just nice to see them. It's nice to have like a little like, you know, first thing in the morning, you know, shoot the ship for 5 seconds and then, you know, have a good day and be off. And there's a value to that for me that I will spend a couple extra dollars instead of getting a like stomach churning Tim Hortons coffee first thing in the morning so that, you know, somebody can shove it into my face through the fucking drive-through while they're looking in the other direction. And so, But to order it for Uber and then have them sit there and deliver that shit and be like, give me my tip? I'd be like, nah. Bro, it's wild work. Anyway, we digress. Let's see. Josh asks, Steam Machine. Yes, here we go. I knew somebody was going to ask about this. Did you see this pop up on your feeds here this week, Mr. Black? No? Holy shit. No. Okay. So we talked about the fact that we were pretty convinced this would happen at some point because we believed that the next round of consoles would also have to be basically PCs or get closer to being PCs in order to survive. And, or to be able to, in Xbox's sense, be able to command the price that they are likely going to try to command for the next console. Gabe said, hold my beer. So everyone thought for a time, you can look this up while I'm chatting, but if you want so you can see it yourself, just look up the Steam Machine. People thought that they were done after doing the Steam boxes where they had, you know, third-party support where they were putting the Steam OS on small computers that other manufacturers were putting together and just labeling it as this ecosystem. But Steam themselves are doing this one. And it's called the Steam Machine. It's a little cube thing. They got a new controller to replace the old Steam controller. Yes, people are calling it the Gabe Cube, which is fucking hilarious to me and makes sense. Why not? Old Gaben and the GameCube reference. So they also have a new controller and they have a new VR headset as well that will be in this ecosystem. They are targeting entry-level PC price. We don't know what the price is, but that seems to me like we're in the neighborhood of $6.99 to $8.99 US is probably what we're going to be looking at, perhaps. Maybe, depending on memory costs and stuff when this launches, which maybe not, because this is supposed to come out early 2026. But I think that's probably the pocket you're looking at, maybe about $8.99. They're targeting, I think, something roughly around they said that they're shooting for a certain GPU level, and I can't remember what it is, but it's strong enough that with using FSR or whatever, what have you, that you'll still be able to play 4K games on this thing at good resolutions. And so very impressive little thing. Obviously, heat and whatnot is questionable because we're looking at it going, where the fuck does the air go? It goes in through the bottom, and there's a tiny vent on the side at the front panel. But it is, man, Xbox. I don't know if Xbox is punching the air right now, or if they're excited that they can say this is an Xbox. I don't know which one of those two scenarios we're at right now, but theoretically, because this is running SteamOS as well, you could just do Xbox games on this fucking box, and now they have to compete with this when their next console comes around. If this thing is even remotely good, and the thing is, perspective here. SteamOS in some games, instead of Windows 11, is providing upwards of 30% performance benefits because the overhead of Windows 11 is so big. That's an enormous fucking leap for like lower end systems. To get a 30% boost is wild. It is mostly upgradable to some degree, but not super, because the reality is that in order to make it as small as it is and to keep it as controlled in an environment as they could, which is necessary when you're trying to keep prices down, the CPU GPU situation is soldered on. So you're not, unless you are an engineer, you're not going to be swapping out parts and stuff like that. They are opening the BIOS up for people to do a little bit of tweaking of the speeds. So if you want to go for that route, you can. But generally speaking, in order to keep the size, the cost, and whatnot in check, they decided to solder the CPU and I believe the GPU portions down. This is big news. There was no lead up to this. They just dropped this shit out of nowhere. They just dropped this whole shebang. The headset for VR also going to be similar to some of the other ones, where even if it's not a VR game, they'll be able to project the screen in the headset, so you can play regular games also just with the headset on if you'd like to do that. The controller seems like a step up from the original, but it still seems a bit awkward, I'm going to be honest. But if it's even a little bit better than the last Steam controller, that's probably for the best. I'm sure. In fact, I know you can obviously put other controllers into this. So you've got a Bluetooth situation for Xbox controller, PlayStation controller. You're all good on that front. I believe it's coming in a 512. I think there was 3 SKUs possibly. 512, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. And then they also have an expansion slot at the bottom, like just for an SD card, for you to expand memory as well. It's kind of hot. I'm not that market, but that is, I think that market is certainly big enough that it could be an interesting competitor in a space that you and I have decided ourselves is probably where the consoles have to go anyway. Like in this direction. So how are you feeling about it? You've been looking at some pictures, you've been looking at some stuff there, Mr. Black. How are we feeling about the Steam machine, the Gabe Cube, if you will?
I like it. I like it, and I'm probably gonna buy one. I was already kind of looking forward to the Steam Deck, and then they kind of fucked me over with the pre-order bullshit, and then I was just being a vindictive fucking asshole, and I was just like, you ain't getting my money. Principles, right? But this is a way better option.
Yeah.
Because this allows me to, and it looks small. So, like, this allows me to, most importantly, the first thing that came to my mind, the first thing that came to my mind was, I can get Kai, on computer games without being in front of a computer. Yeah. So I can get one of these. There are tons of kids games and other like sort of entry level gamer games that I can get on Steam for like next to nothing.
Oh yeah.
I can go on Steam sales with Kai, and we can look at sort of the stuff that he's interested in, and he can get acclimated with PC gaming without the PC, without sitting on a chair in front of a computer with a monitor, with Windows running, fucking around with graphic settings and all this other nonsense. You're just in and go. Do I think that this thing is going to be like so damn powerful that you're going to be able to experience all your favorite games maxed out? No, but
No, of course not.
I don't think that's what this is for. I
You
think
can't
this
get
is
that with the
for people.
PlayStation 5 anyway. So
No, you can't.
that's already
No, you
where you're
can't.
at.
And then not only that, it also allows me to play computer games. I can put that in my room. It's small enough that I can literally unplug it from the living room or
Yeah.
wherever, place it in room, hook up an HDMI, stick in the Ethernet cable, turn it on, and play. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it wouldn't be a console that I don't think I would use all of the time, but this definitely is very, very appealing for me in multiple ways. And yeah, I think this is what we want Xbox, or what I think Xbox needs to do, is they need to go in this route. They need to make it so that you're playing their games like PC on that, but then have a little bit more capability. Depending on the price point, like I'm not willing to go and spend $1,500 on this fucking thing.
I don't think it'll be 1,500.
No, but if here in Canada, if it's going to be like, $999, I'm in. And I'm not the type of person that needs 2 terabytes. Like I would be getting the lower end one, because
yeah,
I'm not one of those people that needs to install every single game I got on Steam and just let it sit there.
And it's an SD card. You can get an expansion card for
too.
nothing.
You just stick an exactly. So I'd rather get the low end hard drive space one. Probably save a couple $100. I'm probably not even going to use all of that anyway. But if I did, put an SD card in there, and you're good. So I'm with it. I think this is pretty fucking cool. Would I get like the VR shit? No. Would I get the Steam Deck? No. But give me the Cube and the controller, 2 of them,
Yeah.
2 of them controllers. Yeah. And or if I, like you said, if I'm able to just plug in a fucking PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller, oh fuck, then I don't even need a second. Give me the one controller, then I can use your favorite controllers that you already have here, and I've got tons of controllers, Xbox controllers, PlayStation 5 controllers, fucking Xbox 360 controllers, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Because really the Steam controller is the market for the Steam controller is by and large for games that would typically require a mouse to be really like adept at. That's what that controller is for. So for your other games that are just controller supported, yeah, you just plug in like a regular controller into its USB ports and you're fucking off to the races. Or you can it's probably just Bluetooth. It's probably got a Bluetooth chip on it and Wi-Fi there for controllers as well. So depending on what your controller would require, if you had a dongle or whatever for wireless, all of that would be available. Because again, it's the Steam OS. It's built to try to mimic just the Steam environment within a PC box. And really, like the beauty of anything that Steam can do, and why this could be so important for them for the foreseeable future, is that they have unintentionally stumbled into a near monopoly. And I say unintentionally because they have not done anything intentionally with the express goal of or the explicit goal of forcing a monopoly. They just so happen to be providing a service so much better than every other launcher that they are basically in charge of a monopoly. That is an incredibly rare thing to happen. Most companies, to get to the market share and whatnot that Steam enjoys, has to employ some sort of backroom fuckery to be able to wield the power that they have at certain junctions of their growth to keep other competitors down. Other competitors have tried everything. Epic was giving, and still does, giving games away. Just free 99, $0 games. They tried everything they could, and they got a little bit of traction. Like a tiny bit. Steam is still whooping ass. So if they can put out a consistent box like this once every couple of years where they just have an upgraded version, and people can say, I can use Steam, and I can buy Steam sale, fucking $4 game or some shit.
Bro, like, you could hook up a keyboard and mouse in this bitch.
Yes.
You could just play it in any room. You could take it to your buddy's house. This fucking thing is small, man. You could travel with it. Bro, This
Bring back LAN parties. Apparently, with this thing.
This is it. This is the play. This is the play.
Yeah, I think
this is it.
We now know what the next Xbox. This is their competitor. They don't want to compete with PlayStation anymore.
Xbox is dead. They're dead.
I know they're fucked, but I'm just saying
it's over.
In general,
this is over.
This is what they have to do. But the problem is that they're not going to ever use the Linux kernel. Well, I shouldn't say that. They might have to use it, but they want Daddy Microsoft wants Windows on everything. So they will probably die on the hill of attempting to build a stripped down Windows 11 experience before, room service. Hello, room service. Goodbye, room service. I wondered if she could hear me through your headphones.
No, I have them on. Not very loud.
So, yeah,
I have to eat.
No, go for it. Yeah, I think they will die. The reason why they will likely die is because they're going to be holding on for dear life to having Windows be a part of their machine. They will not accept that Windows 11 to turn it into something that would be as efficient and useful as something as Steam OS, which has a very singular purpose. I just don't think they're willing to do it. And I think that's what's going to fuck them. It's not that they couldn't also do this. Other consoles that they've made or other things, they've run on Linux kernels and stuff in the past, to my knowledge. But right now, it seems like Satya Nadella wants everyone to have Windows on everything, and he wants to be able to hook up Windows AI into fucking everything, and he wants all this shit to happen. And that will be what ultimately kills off their video game console business, is his inability to look at what the rest of the market is doing and what the market wants and do that. So this is, if there was a far-flung hope, and I mean far-flung, that Microsoft's next console had a hope of even reaching a certain market, and they're only even farther flung hope now is that there are enough people willing to spend what I would believe to be a $1,300 baseline on their next console. It ain't going to be $1,000 because that's the PS6. It's going to be $1,000. That's all they got. And I just don't think the market's big enough, and I don't think it's going to be worth it, and they're super dead in the water. So Gabe wins again. Yet again, without even trying. The dude is like living in like fucking Hawaii or some shit. He shows up once in a while. His beard gets more glorious as time goes on, and he makes another $1 trillion. Like that's basically all it is. And it's funny, like people were mentioning. So Gamers Nexus like went and interviewed some of the guys, the engineers that did, working on this Steam machine. And somebody said in the comments, like, why do all the employees at Steam always just seem so nice and open and everyone just seems to be happy? And the answer is because they're all getting paid well. They're not losing their job. The people that have been there for an eternity. And the company's crushing it. That's why they're happy. Nobody that's working at Steam is wondering if they're going to have a job tomorrow. Everyone knows their job is there. And that alone. And also knowing that when you go to work, your productivity is not fueling some like the most insidious form of capitalistic CEO structure bullshit. Gabe is about as good as you could hope, I think, to somebody who's operating in a capitalistic market, who's in charge of a huge market share that's not weaponizing it to some sort of grandiose scheme. So they're happy for that reason. They get to go to work. They get to probably feel like they've got a little bit of fulfillment. They're not just earning a paycheck. They probably feel like they're doing something.
Yep.
And that's worth a lot to a lot of people. So I'm not surprised that they're on camera being pretty fucking happy about it. Now, who knows? This could come out and not be all it's cracked up to be, but it looks like it's got a lot of legs. And even if it isn't perfect, I bet you that they were going to continue to iterate on it because, again, they've got basically a monopoly without having to try to get one, other than to just make a product that's better than everyone else's product. And if they can keep this up and have a box available that does what they're doing with this, I think that they're going to be able to sell a shitload of these things if it's good.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there. I'm buying it. I'm in.
Bro, I heard somebody, who was it? Was it Jez Corden or whatever the fuck his name is? Nobody you would know. Industry pundit type. I think it was him. One sec. I just want to see if I can pull up this tweet. Yeah. So, discussing rumors. I don't know how this could be considered a rumor. Wherever this rumor started was off the meth. And still on it. For sure. Because he speculates on the premium hybrid console could sell 20 million units in its first year. Year one.
What, the new Steam machine?
No. The next Xbox. The ultra premium next Xbox. 20 million units in its first year.
What? Fuck no.
And just for reference, as of June of last year, so we all know they haven't sold anything since then anyway, so this is probably the active numbers, even though it's a year old. A combined Series X and S sold 28 million.
Yeah. No.
What crackhead would ever think that a console that's going to cost 50 to 80% more than the Series X is somehow going to find 20 million buyers in year one alone?
No.
What? I'll say this. If they somehow
I don't know how they're gonna sell 10.
Well, listen. Let's say it's 2028, which is when I think this is going to come out, the next Xbox. Let's say it's 2028. Let's just assume that somehow in that time, they get their shit together enough to hit a grand slam, not even a home run. Miracles happen. Miracles. Grand slam. They sell 10 million in the first year. Off a grand slam. That's it. Anything less than a grand slam, there ain't a hope that you can push a anywhere from a $1,000 to $1,299 console. You can call it hybrid. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. People are going to look at it as if it's a console. That's the reality of the situation. People aren't buying your Series X right now. And it costs $800. What makes you think that if you tack $400 more or $500 more on top of that, that unless you hit the greatest fucking walk-off grand slam, the one actually that the Blue Jays should have hit to win the fucking World Series, and I'm still salty after watching that game, that shit, I almost died, dude. Yeah. Sidebar, me and my old man watched that together. Dan Morehouse was up at 1 o'clock in the morning watching this game.
Damn.
Okay. I was on the rum. We were watching this game. I have never been so angry in ages. I want to say my life, obviously, but in sports, the number of opportunities squandered was insane. But at the same time, I also felt a little bad because the number of not their fault random things that happened also fucking insane. Sidebar over. Rip Blue Jays. I'll see you again in 20 more years. But it has to be a grand slam. And what about any of the management of the Xbox division, and we can also just call it the Microsoft Gaming division, has been even close to a single We ain't even hitting doubles right now.
It's over, Adam. It ain't happening,
hitting
bro.
singles.
And you got the Steam machine coming out too. I mean, what iteration of the Steam machine will be out by then, assuming that the Xbox is even a console? I mean, it's done.
Bro, can you imagine?
Done.
So it's 2028. Entirely possible that in 2 years they come out with like the 1.5 version, right? The upgraded version or some shit. They could. They might not, because they've been letting the Steam Deck simmer for a while and people are still buying it like fucking hotcakes. Xbox is fucking that shit is dead before it's even arrived.
It's gone.
So anyway,
it's done.
There you go. Let's see. Movie news. The Christie box office flop with Sydney Sweeney. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's Sydney Sweeney's new film of her playing a boxer.
Oh, she's at her boxer arc. Oh, we've reached the boxer arc that all mainline Hollywood stars must go through at some point.
And they're all failing. All of these, like, except for like Creed, like Rocky films, they're all just box office bombs. And it's a bunch of actors and actresses trying to show that they can actually act in films that nobody gives a fuck about. Like, nobody cares. Nobody knows. Like,
Well, listen,
cool.
I feel like the through line was like Rocky.
I got a hot take, bro.
$1 Million Baby. What's your hot take?
Sydney Sweeney is overrated as fuck.
Just like, in general, or like
just in general.
Okay.
In every conceivable way.
Yeah.
The acting, the looks, the everything. For me, like, she's good looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's got some assets. But you know, there are tons. Like, it's I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't.
Well, there's lots of it's the old story of, like, you know, Hollywood will put somebody in as being the most beautiful woman of all time, or the most, you know, handsome man of all time, and then you go to like your local Starbucks and the person serving you coffee is more attractive. You know, it doesn't mean just because you're in Hollywood doesn't mean that you're going to be like, but it does elevate you clearly. I mean, you have an entire team working to take whatever you're working with as a baseline. And how can we make that as best as possible? Surgery, makeup, outfits, diets, the whole 9 yards. How much Ozempic can you fucking cram into your fucking mouth? How much can you do? So I agree. You know, she's an attractive girl. Her acting is fine. But, you know, right now the reality is there's a lot of people out there that want to watch her. That's making a lot of other people money, and they figured. You know, now who thought that making Sydney Sweeney less attractive in a boxing film to put her in there was going to be a good idea, so that she had to stand entirely on her acting? I'm not sure how they thought that was going to go over well, but they tried. But it is funny to me that it's always a boxing film. You know, somebody is being pushed for their Oscar run when they start doing a boxing film, and it's like Rocky, $1 Million Baby, and then the industry went, that's the fucking formula. Put him in a boxing film. We can do it again. Just a weird fucking thing to happen. But yeah, Christie, woo. Does The Rock get an Oscar?
No,
not even in this era of the Oscars meaning nothing. Do I think that he's going to get an Oscar?
I'm not even sure he's going to get nominated. I haven't seen the film. He might get nominated here. Like, they're really pushing for that. Right?
I think he'll get a nom, but I don't think he's going to win.
Okay. I think there's a 50-50 chance he gets a nom, and I think there's a 0% chance he wins Best Actor of the Year. No.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie that got announced. Did you see the trailer for that, Mr. Black?
I didn't watch the trailer, but I did hear about it. So yeah.
Will it get another billion? Yes.
Yes.
The easiest answer ever. Yes. Avatar, Fire and Ash will be as long as Titanic, apparently, which makes it what? Fucking
3 hours and 15 minutes-ish, maybe?
Like 200 and something minutes?
Yeah, it's long.
Yay. I gotta be honest, I don't fucking care about Avatar.
I mean, Fire and Ash is apparently supposed to be the next level. Like, even when they were releasing number 2, everybody that was like part of the film, and sort of like the insiders, they're like, number 3 is like really where shit gets real. Like it's apparently it's supposed to be very action packed, and it's the stuff they got in there and like the story and things like that. It takes a turn, and it's supposed to get out of the way of sort of what it was before, and it turns into this whole new thing. I don't know, but I mean, I'm there for it, right? Like, it's a big cinematic spectacle. I think they look incredible. Like, you see them in IMAX 3D. It's an experience.
Well, there's no doubt that is the case for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like,
like,
again, yeah, it's Avatar. Yeah. Okay.
I'll watch it in theater because it's a theater movie, and I want to see just how far he pushed the tech. That's the only reason I'm watching Avatar. Everything else about Avatar is so fucking whatever to me. Jaka or Yaka, I don't know which one that might be based on where this gentleman is from. Did you watch the new Frankenstein movie? And if so, what did you think?
No.
I have not. I've heard a lot about it. It is a Guillermo del Toro joint, if memory serves.
It is.
Listen, Guillermo del Toro makes really good fucking movies. They're not always my favorites, but I can't argue against them being really good movies. He is the, you know, horror / obscure side.
He's the Tim Burton of our generation, man. He's just He's just got his own unique thing.
If like Tim Burton and Wes Anderson had a child, he's kind of there. But I mean, he makes good shit, bro. I mean, fuck me. Everything I've seen has been good.
I saw the trailer for it. It looks cool, but like, I'm not a huge fan of Frankenstein. I think it's kind of like a whack. Like, I've never identified with it. And then the other thing is, it's like 3 hours long. It's like a fucking super long ass movie, and I don't like watching films like that in 2 different settings. I like to sit down and enjoy the film. I don't want to watch like, all right, we're gonna watch 2 hours tonight, and then we'll watch the rest tomorrow. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll ever see it, but we'll see.
I don't think I'll ever watch it, but I know instinctually, without having watched it, that if Guillermo del Toro has done it, it's at bare minimum a good film. Whether it's one that you'll enjoy, you have to like his movies because he has a very specific flair. But like from an objective standpoint, I mean, he does very well. He does great films. Let me see here. Roran says, I recently had to change out the support wheels on my dryer. It was screeching loudly. What are some home DIY projects that you have attempted yourself that turned into an absolute nightmare?
None. I don't do home DIY projects, bro. I just don't. I've done like major renovations at rentals and things, but like that's a little different. Like I've had some nightmare. I mean, the closest thing that we've done here is we had to like regrout our shower and stuff.
Right.
And it was like just fucking pain in the ass. But outside of that, we don't really. Our house looks very similar to what we did when we bought it, and
it was a relatively new home when you bought it too, so there wasn't like a lot to be.
Yeah. So we haven't really done like extensive renovations or changed anything or had these huge projects. I'm just not a DIY guy. You know, if there's something that needs to get done, I'm like calling dad and I'm like hovering over him, pretending like I'm helping, like passing him tools.
Hold the flashlight.
Yeah, pretty much it, bro. That's,
Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of the DIY stuff done here was done when we bought the house because we gutted a lot of it to do work, not structural work, but like stuff like, because it was just an older home, right? So I would say, I mean, I hate plumbing. Plumbing can go fuck itself. So Dad and I did some plumbing here, but I fucking hate plumbing. The scariest part about plumbing is especially when you're just doing like, black plastic stuff, running water lines, that's fine. It's annoying, but fine. But doing like drain work, I hate it, because when you get to a point where you've done all of your cuts, you've got all of your pieces, and now it's time to put it all together, and you really don't know with great certainty, because when you dry fit, you can't dry fit perfectly, because you'll never get the fucking pieces apart ever again. So you don't really know with great certainty since you're not a plumber yourself and you haven't done it a trillion times. When I put this fucker together and then we start putting this thing under the sink, is it going to line up with the fucking drain on the other end? Nobody fucking knows until it happens. And so I hate it. And so when you're putting it and you're gluing everything together, it's the most nerve-wracking shit. Like, Dad showed me a method that he uses where he'll take like painter's tape, and when he does the dry fit, and he puts it in to try to see if it will line up, and you get within, reason, let's say you're 90% fucking sure, painter's tape and then black marker line. So the painter's tape goes across the joint, and then you draw with a pen or a pencil or a marker across the tape, across the joint, so that when you're gluing it, you spin them together to line the lines up again, so that it's exactly where it needed to be when you dry fit in the cabinet. Even with all that, I fucking hate that shit with a passion. Thankfully, ours went well when we did them here. I would say the thing that it wasn't a catastrophic failure or something, but putting the HVAC in.
Yeah. Not fun. Not fun.
Running the HVAC lines everywhere was a nightmare. Especially because the house was closed up. So you're constantly fighting, like, which wall are we going to fucking put a hole in? How big is the hole going to have to be so that we can do what we need to do? And when you're dealing with a house that's 30 years old, you're like, okay, this is where we want to put it. And then you put a hole and you're like, oh, there's something back there.
Yep. All right, looks like we got another hole to patch. Where else are we smashing? Yeah.
So
fun stuff.
Yeah, I would say that would be it for me, was that, like, Dad and I running the HVAC, because the worst part was, of all of it, there was lots of bad finicky shit. It was doing the stuff in the attic. Because you put all the hose together, like, the best way of doing it is you put all the hose together, like, in your living room if you have the room. So you have a big fucking, like, spider of just, of flex pipe, insulated flex pipe all over the place. And then you feed it up into the attic space when somebody gets up there, so that it's already attached. Because doing anything in the attic, unless you have a huge fucking attic, is just... And pro tip, our attic, it's not huge. Our pitch is 4 and 12. So that shit is shallow as shit, and I am 6'6". And so when I'm up in the attic and we got blown in insulation, I was in the... my dad's 70-something when we're doing this, right? So it was like, obviously, he was up in the attic, but when we had to do anything like, crazy, like laying across a bunch of joists to try to like run this fucking pipe for HVAC, I'm the one doing it. Obviously, I'm not going to make my fucking dad army crawl around a bunch of insulation in the attic. So he had some Tyvek suits from like some old work that he did, which I needed because I'm going to go swimming in fucking blown in insulation. And so I'm putting the Tyvek suit on, but this fucking Tyvek suit is like capri pants and like a fucking t-shirt because it's not long enough for my big ass body. And so we're like taping my leg like holes up and taping my arms up and the goggles on and the hood up, which wasn't big enough to go over top my whole head. So like half my fucking bald head's being exposed.
It's like a scene out of fucking Breaking Bad. You're getting ready to go cook a bunch of fucking meth in your attic.
Yeah, that's what it was like. And I get up there and I'm fucking like army crawling across shit. And when they built the house, it was in the 80s. So everyone was on coke. And so the electrical lines are just, and you can't see them. They're underneath the fucking insulation. They didn't run a line. And like, typically if they're doing a good job, you'd go up into an attic and across all the trusses, they would have stapled the electric to the trusses until they got where they needed to go and then drop the line down. Not at our place. No. They were running shit like diagonal across the whole house. So if they had to run it from one end of the house to the other, They just said shortest possible distance and fucking ran it diagonal on the ground in the attic across the whole thing.
Fucked.
So I was like crawling out to like the edge of the roof to try to get these pipes in. Again, 4x12, which means it will go up 4 inches and then the slope, on 12. So when you get out to the edge and there's nails from the roof coming in like Hellraiser, that was by far the fucking dirtiest, nastiest, awful job. Full of headaches. I've never heard Dad say so many 4-letter words in all my life. We were fucking out there in the trenches. And that was that. I would say that's absolutely that one for sure. But fuck plumbing. If I had to choose one thing to never do for the rest of my life, home-wise, plumbing, 100%. Fuck plumbing. Let's see. If you could trade places with a celebrity for 1 year, Mr. Black, who would you pick? And if you're feeling malicious, what celebrity would you which you trade places with, having the intention to inconvenience their lives? Oh, okay. So if you're just being an asshole. I don't know if I would maliciously trade places with somebody. I would not want to be them.
Yeah.
But if I could trade places with one person, a celebrity, it's gotta be Keanu Reeves, bro. That guy seems to just be. I mean, he's had a rough life. I mean, if you read his life, his life has been fucking tough. But now, right now, today, Keanu Reeves, that dude's living it, bro. That might be one of the happiest motherfuckers walking around. Maybe Matthew McConaughey. All right. He also seems to be a little happy.
Yo, man, I'm going Michael B. Jordan. Since we did it earlier.
Hey, he's fucking crushing it. Yeah.
Crushing it. Got money. Got like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go with that. I don't know about a whole year though, but hey.
Oh boy. Diabolical, Mr. Black. It's a merry fuck kill.
Oh boy.
And it's a diabolical one. Sydney Sweeney, topical. Angelina Jolie, Alexandra Daddario.
Yeah, I'm Marion Daddario. I am.
Agree.
I am smashing Sydney, and I'm killing Angelina.
What? Okay, I gotta pause here because obviously this is unfair to Angelina at this junction in time because she is twice the age actually of these two or more. Are we talking prime? Because if it's prime Angelina, then my order is I'm Marion Daddario, I'm banging Jolie, and I'm taking out Sweeney.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's prime Angelina, yeah. We ain't killing Angelina, but if it's Angelina right now, 50-something-year-old Angelina.
Well, I mean, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think we can go on that. That's unfair.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's just an easy choice. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she's a great person, but actually, I'm not sure about that. But hey, she gotta go.
Know.
She gotta go.
Yeah. But yeah, we agree. Daddario is absolutely the choice on that.
In fact, I'm not sure there's any other.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't even argue.
And if Daddario is on that list.
Every time.
Probably marrying Daddario every single time.
Yeah, 100%. Oh shit, this is good. I don't think there is, but I have to ask it to plant the seed, Mr. Black. Shankadactyl asks, any updates on the enhancing pills in Jeff's closet?
No updates. I don't even know where they're at. That's the crazy thing.
So we haven't found them
somewhere. Yeah, they're in there somewhere. I mean, Kayla found them. Did I tell you that? Kayla.
Yeah,
Kayla
that's where this came from. I think.
Yeah. Kayla found them because I ended up getting them as like a thing when I was at the sex store and they had like these samples or whatever, right?
Yeah. That was part of the sampling box.
I never had the balls to take them because and the thing is, I looked them up, right?
Yeah.
I looked them up, and some people were talking about like a heart palpitations and like
that would be
you know what I mean. So I was like, I'm and I don't need it. So I was like, I'm just not. But it's in this closet right here behind me. It's in there somewhere. 100%. Yeah, and they're like rhino. They're like rhino
Like ground up
Anyway,
rhino horn.
Yeah, you keep talking. I might be able to.
Oh, no shot you find them. All right, right now, if you're listening to this, Mr. Black is going into the closet and actively seeing if he can find said pills as we speak. He's going to take a cursory glance, see if he can spot them. If he finds it, this is going to be one of the funniest things possible. If he, I don't even. Can you guys see it? No, you can't. Okay, so he's off screen on stream too. You guys can't see it. He's to the left of what's visible for you guys on the camera. But yeah, for those who don't remember the story, basically it was Mr. Black told it ages and ages ago, but he was in a the sex shop for other things, and there were some samples or something that were given out at the time, and he didn't know what they all were, and then they were in a closet for an eternity, and his wife ages and ages and ages later came across them, and they were trying to figure out what they were, and then like he remembered that's they were having samples or whatever handed out at the time, and then they got put away in a closet again, and he's pretty positive that he still has them. Credit to him, he is. Oh, we are going deep now. He is in. I know which box he's in right now too. There is a box at the bottom of that closet that is like a catch-all for everything you can possibly imagine, mostly cables. Random like retro game related shit that probably doesn't work. He's gonna try and stand on that box right now. Ain't no way. That box is collapsing. Oh my god. I might watch him die. The box is literally folding on itself. What does he do? Why are you doing? I might watch him die. This might be it. Looking for the dick pills, and he might just fucking blow an ankle right here. Okay, he survived. He is down off of the cardboard box. That box is now completely fucked up now. What the fuck? Oh, it looks like we have maybe given up. Nothing in hand. I can't
It's
find
in there
them.
somewhere. It's probably. I think it's up like way up, and I would need like a ladder.
Yeah, I saw you
to
precariously standing on a cardboard box there. That was spicy. I thought I was gonna watch you blow a fucking tire. Trying to get to the dick pills, but there you go. If they're found in the future, you guys will be informed.
That's it.
Last one, Mr. Black. Zonix, right. You randomly inherit $50 million. Okay. What is your guilty pleasure purchase with that money?
Ooh, guilty pleasure purpose.
For 50 schmil. Mm.
Guilty pleasure purpose or purchase.
I'm trying to think about what guilty pleasures I have that would even necessitate $50 million.
I am probably I'm nerding out. Like I'm full blown nerding the fuck out.
Okay.
I am building my own arcade. Like I when I say arcade, I'm not talking about a cabinet.
No, like a room full of cabinets.
Every like arcade that meant a lot to me growing up, stuff that I used, I'm buying every single one of them. I almost legitimately want to walk in my own arcade and just have it just be a nostalgia bomb where it's just like everything that and there is like money's not an option. I don't give a fuck. The best of the best of the best of each mint condition, not ones that are like taking a beating. Well, we're talking like I might have to spend $100,000 on like this rare ass cabinet that like, hey, I can do it. And I'm also getting real life sized like Vegeta, huge Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta, I don't know, statue that's just like to life. Like, and I mean, we're talking like his shit looks badass. Like I'm going full, I'm nerding out. I'm getting every single game boxed complete for all of my favorite consoles. And some of my favorite games, I'm getting them sealed, graded. Like I would probably spend $2 to $3 million on geeked out, nerded out shit that I had no business buying. but I would just do it just because I have $50 million. Who gives a fuck? Like, that'll be my guilty pleasure. Just like, just going nuts, just nerding the fuck out.
Let me think. I think one of these two things will speak to the fact that I'm about to become a father. I want lifetime home cleaning maid service. I never want to, because I do myself do some cleaning around here. We split responsibilities, but if it meant that Em and I never had to climb on the cook part, I'll live with. But the cleaning part, if I never had to clean ever again, that's on the short list. The guilty pleasure that is so guilty I might not even be able to fit in the fucking vehicle. It's not even a Viper, actually, because I know I can fit in a Viper already. But the guilty pleasure, because the vehicle is a little bit... No, it's not a Lotus either. I definitely wouldn't fit in a Lotus, though. That's 100%. Maybe the Evora, maybe. Is a Nissan 300 ZX metallic gray with just a hair of a body kit and some good replacement lights is one of the weird. It's got this overly complicated vacuum fucking engine that is like impossible to repair. You need a fucking like rocket science degree to be able to fucking do any work on it. And so unless you know that car like the back of your hand, you never want to own one. But I don't even know how to fit in it, but I have always wanted one. And there was one for sale here around near us years ago. Not obviously restored, but it was like reasonable. It was in good shape. And I was always salty that I never had the money to own one when I was younger. It's like if I had one JDM vehicle in my collection, that is specifically the one. So probably that, but definitely lifetime. Well, honestly, you know what?
I mean, brother,
yeah,
was you lifetime $50 million, cleaning,
lifetime.
You get a maid, you can get fucking
lifetime,
nanny.
Lifetime. I don't want to have to cook again. I don't want to have to clean again, and then give me that 300 ZX, and I'm a fucking happy man. I'd like.
You know what? You know. I'm gonna throw one more in there. I'm throwing one more in there. I mean, the whole maid thing and, nanny and stuff, that's a given. Like, $50 million, bro, ain't nobody got time for cleaning. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I already be moving into a fucking McMansion anyway, right? So it's just like, I'm going to need the help. But I'm hiring a full-time masseuse. Literally, I'm pulling an Andrew Tate where I'm like, you know what I mean? And I'm getting rubbed down whenever the fuck I want. And we're not talking like, it's just like 1 hour a day. It is your job to be here all day, every day. Like, you have your days off, but I'm going to bring somebody else in and I'll have my own room and boom, whenever I want, fucking masseuse, boom. That's an actual guilty pleasure. Like, that is like,
oh, you know what? That's a good choice too.
If I gotta spend $100K a year on a masseuse, and that's all they do, and they don't even work. It's not like I'm getting rubbed down 8-10 hours a day. One day I might 3 hours. One day it might be an hour. One day might be, I don't know. One day I might not even do it. They're just here. Maybe my wife wants one, or Kai wants a massage or something. I don't know. They just here. And when they're here, they can enjoy the house like it's their own. You have your own little corridor. You got your own kitchen. You want food, order what you want, do what you. Your job is just, when I want to get rubbed down, you get them hands ready.
Why are you gonna say it like that though? Rub down is like, that sounds like you went to a fucking red light district and you're getting a happy ending at the end.
Hey, straight up. Hey, if I want that too, you're gonna give that to me.
Fantastic. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to end this podcast. Thank you very much for hanging out, whether you're here live or you're listening to us at work. Again, I implore you, poop on company time. Get paid to do it. And listen to us while you do. We will see you guys not next week. Mr. Black is away. We're not going to be doing StarCraft until later next week, and so there might be like 1 or 2 days where you'd have like an overlap where we don't have a game up for the StarCraft stuff, and then we'll be back to it probably Saturday, I think, is when we decided we were probably going to be able to do it. And then we should be back on our regularly scheduled programming after that. But until we see you again, thank you once again for hanging out, and stay safe out there. Have a good one. And peace.
Peace.